One half I, 29M, have always been a logistics guy. I deal in hard numbers, shipping routes, and facts. My ex-girlfriend, 24F, let's call her Sarah, lived in a completely different reality, one built on filters, angles, and engagement metrics. We were together for 2 years, and for the first year and a half, her constant documentation of our lives was just a mild annoyance, a quirk of her generation I tried to overlook. But in the last 6 months, it morphed into a second job that paid $0 but demanded constant overtime from me. I wasn't just her boyfriend anymore. I was her unpaid production assistant, lighting grip, and prop. The build-up to this past Christmas was intense. Sarah had been down lately because her engagement numbers were stalling and her friends were getting brand deals that she wasn't. She made it very clear that she needed a win to show off. She started dropping hints about a specific designer necklace she wanted, a delicate gold chain with a distinct sapphire pendant. It was $3,200. That is a massive amount of money for me. I make a decent living, but $3,000 is a mortgage payment and then some. I worked overtime in November and skipped upgrading my own laptop to make it happen because I wanted her to feel valued. I thought if I got her this status symbol, she'd realize she didn't need the internet's validation because she had mine. Christmas morning came, and the stage was set. We were at my apartment. She had her tripod set up in the corner to capture the candid magic, which meant nothing was actually candid. I handed her the small, heavy box wrapped in silver paper. My heart was actually racing. I was excited to give her something she specifically asked for. She tore the paper, opened the velvet box, and just stared at it. There was no gasp, no smile, just a pause of calculation. "Oh," she said, her voice flat. "It's smaller than it looked on the website." She didn't take it out of the box. She didn't put it on. She didn't hug me. She looked at the camera lens reflecting in the patio door, then back at the box. "Do you like it?" I asked, feeling the air leave the room.
"Yeah, babe."
"It's cute," she said, snapping the lid shut. "I'm gonna go fix my makeup before we head to my parents." She left the box on the coffee table next to her half-empty latte and walked into the bathroom. I sat there feeling like an absolute idiot. $3,000 for cute. 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed. A TikTok notification. She'd posted. I opened the app and felt my stomach drop. The video was 15 seconds long, using that trending distorted audio clip. "EU, brother, EW. What's that?" The video showed her holding the open box, zooming in on the necklace I had just given her, making a face of disgust. The caption read, "When your boyfriend's gift game is weak skull #Christmas fail #do better not the vibe." The comments were rolling in fast. "Girl, run. He's cheap. That looks like it came from a gumball machine." And she was liking them. She was in the bathroom, liking comments from strangers calling me cheap for buying the exact gift she requested. Something inside me didn't just break. It evaporated. It was a cold, clinical clarity. I didn't yell. I didn't storm into the bathroom. I typed a single comment on her video. Noted. Then I stood up. I walked over to the coffee table and opened the box to ensure the necklace was still inside. It was pristine, untouched, still in the foam slit. I snapped the lid shut, put the box in my jacket pocket, and grabbed my duffel bag. I threw in 3 days' worth of clothes, walked out the front door, locked it, and got in my car. She was still in the bathroom. I drove straight to the mall. It was 11 a.m. on Christmas morning, but the high-end jewelry store had a skeleton crew working for returns and exchanges. The sales associate recognized me from when I bought it. "Too small?" she asked sympathetically. "No," I said, placing the box on the counter. It wasn't the vibe. I'd like a refund. Because I had the receipt, the card it was purchased on, and the item was in unworn condition, the return was processed immediately. $3,200 credited back to my account. But I wasn't done. The anger was sitting in my chest, heavy and hot. She had publicly humiliated me for clout. She had invited strangers to mock a gesture of love I worked hard for. I sat in my car and pulled up the website for a local women's shelter, a place her mother had volunteered at years ago. I navigated to the donation page. I typed in the amount, $3,200. Donor name, Sarah, last name. Dedication, in honor of finding one's true worth. Notification address, her parents' home address. I hit submit. Then I drove to my brother's house 3 towns over and turned my phone off. Silence is a weapon, and most people don't know how to use it. I spent Christmas with my brother's family, eating ham and playing with my nieces. It was peaceful. Real. No cameras. When I finally turned my phone back on around 4 p.m., I had 47 missed calls and a wall of texts from her. The progression was fascinating. 11:30 a.m. Babe, where did you go? 11:45 a.m. This isn't funny. My parents are expecting us. 12:15 p.m. Did you see the TikTok? It was just a joke. OMG, you are so sensitive. 1 p.m. Where's the necklace? I can't find the box. 1:30 p.m. Did you take it? That's my property. You can't just take back a gift. 2 p.m. I'm calling the police. She didn't call the police. She knew she couldn't. I sent one text back. I saw the video. You made it clear the gift was unacceptable. I returned it. We're done. Do not come to my apartment. I will ship your things to your parents' house next week. Then I blocked her number. 2 days later, the fallout began to mutate. Since I wasn't responding, she tried to control the narrative. She posted a Storytime video claiming I was abusive and controlling. She lied and said I stole her grandmother's heirloom ring in a fit of rage because she didn't cook Christmas dinner correctly. She didn't mention the necklace. She didn't mention her mocking TikTok. She fabricated a completely new reality to explain why she was single and giftless. Friends started DMing me asking if it was true. She was spiraling, needing a villain to explain her situation. But she made a critical error. She assumed I was just a bitter ex hiding in a hole. She didn't account for the paper trail, and she definitely didn't account for the U.S. Postal Service. The thank you card from the shelter arrived at her parents' house on December 29th. Her dad called me. Now, her dad is an old-school guy, owns a hardware store, hates social media. He tolerated me because I had a job and treated his daughter well. OP. His voice was gruff. I'm looking at a letter here from the women's shelter. It says Sarah donated $3,200. It also says you're the one who processed the payment. Yes, sir, I said. She's been running around here saying you stole jewelry from her and pawned it. Saying you're broke and unstable. I didn't steal anything. She posted a video mocking the necklace I bought her. I returned it and donated the money in her name since she cares so much about public image. I figured she'd want the credit. There was a long silence. Then, send me the video. I sent him the screen recording of the TikTok she had deleted. I'm coming over, he said. We need to have a talk. She's trying to file a police report against you for theft. I met him at a diner. He looked tired. She's talking to a lawyer, he said. Her mother is hysterical. They think you're a monster because of the lies she's telling. She told them you hit her. My blood ran cold. The heirloom lie was one thing, but accusations of physical abuse could ruin my career. I have never touched her, I told him, shaking. I have Googled timeline data, credit card receipts, and witnesses at the mall proving I wasn't even in the house when she claims this happened. I believe you, he said. But you need to know why she's doing this. She owes money. A lot of it. She maxed out 3 credit cards trying to keep up this lifestyle. She told her mother she was going to sell the necklace the second she got it. She had a buyer lined up in the city. She needed that $3,000 to make a payment on a loan she took out. The puzzle pieces slammed together. The specific request for that exact necklace. The disappointment when she thought it looked small, low resale value. The panic when I took it back. She didn't want the jewelry. She wanted the liquidity. And now, she couldn't sell the necklace. She couldn't return it, and she had a donation receipt for money she didn't have sent to a charity she couldn't ask for a refund from without looking like a monster. She's cornered, I said. And a cornered animal bites. The next day, she tried to bite. I got a call from my HR department. She had emailed my employer with allegations of theft and harassment. If there is no police report, this is defamation, I told the HR rep, trying to keep my voice steady. My ex-girlfriend is attempting to extort me because I broke up with her. I am sending you a file right now. I sent a PDF containing the receipt of purchase, the return receipt, the donation receipt, and screenshots of her texts where she admitted she wanted to sell it anyway. I had bluffed her in a text during a brief unblock the night before, saying, I know about the buyer, and she had foolishly replied, so what? It was mine to sell. I also included the TikTok video, where she mocked the gift. I am happy to come in and discuss this, I said. But be aware that if the company acts on false allegations from a third party without legal standing, I will be consulting my own counsel. The HR rep backed down immediately, noting the file and considering the matter closed internally. It was time to end this. I didn't sue her. I didn't scream. I sent her one final text before blocking her permanently on everything. I know about the debt. I know about the buyer. I have the text. I just spoke to HR. If you contact my job, my family, or post my name online one more time, I will file a civil suit for defamation and tortious interference. I will subpoena your financial records to prove the motive for your lies. Do you really want your parents and your followers to see your credit card statements? The silence that followed was deafening. But the universe has a funny way of balancing the scales. Remember the donation? The women's shelter has a Facebook page, and they are very active in the community. On January 2nd, they posted a generic thank you graphic. A massive heartfelt thank you to Sarah, last name, for her incredibly generous donation of $3,200. This gift will provide bedding and meals for 15 women this month. It is inspiring to see young influencers giving back so selflessly. They tagged her. The post went viral locally. People were sharing it. Her fans saw it. OMG Queen. This is amazing. So generous. She was trapped. If she admitted she didn't make the donation, she would have to explain how it was made, by me, with the refund money from the gift she mocked. If she admitted the money came from a refund, she'd look ungrateful. If she tried to get the money back from the shelter, she would be the influencer who robbed a women's shelter. She had to eat it. She had to comment on the post. So, happy to help. Love. But privately, she was drowning. Her father called me a week later to let me know the aftermath. The buyer she had lined up was a sketchy pawnbroker who charged her a cancellation fee. Her parents discovered the extent of her debt, nearly $45,000 in credit cards and personal loans. They gave her an ultimatum: hand over all passwords, delete the TikTok account, and get a real job, or get out of their house. She tried to fight it, posting a goodbye TikTok video blaming mental health, but the comment section on the shelter's post kept growing. Every notification was a reminder of the money she lost. I moved apartments anyway because I didn't want her knowing where I slept. 3 months later, I ran into a mutual friend who told me Sarah is working at her dad's hardware store now. She's not allowed to have her phone on the floor. She still tells people I'm the devil who manipulated her into financial ruin, but I just tell people I balance the ledger. The donation to the shelter ended up doing more than just annoying her. I received a letter from the director later on, telling me that the specific sum helped fix their heating system during a cold snap. I felt a strange sense of peace, knowing the money I slaved for didn't go to pay off a gambling debt or a loan shark. It kept people warm. Reflecting on it now, the signs were always there. The entitlement. The way she treated waitstaff. The way she treated me. I was just an accessory to her life. The noted comment wasn't just about the necklace. It was me noting that I was worth more than a 15-second clip. I'm currently dating someone new. She's a nurse. She doesn't have TikTok. For her birthday, I bought her a Kindle. She cried, hugged me, and didn't check the lighting once. Money can buy diamonds, but it can't buy the class required to wear them. If you enjoyed watching an influencer get influenced by reality, smash that subscribe button. It costs $0, which is exactly what my ex got for Christmas.